Hello again. I am here with an audiobook review. This one is for Sleeping Beauties, the Stephen King, Owen King book collaboration. Um, I'm a big fan of Stephen King. I've read a lot of Stephen King books, and when I found out about this one, it sounded interesting. And it is. I would definitely give it a 4 stars. Let you know right off the top of the bat. The narrator for the audiobook, Marin Ireland, does a really good job, especially with the West Virginia accents, I guess. Uh, she really keeps the flow of the audiobook going, and it's a really good book. I mean, I can definitely see Stephen King in this book. I don't know. I haven't read any Owen King books, so I can't tell, where the Owen King and where the Stephen King come in. But it's a long audiobook, but it's actually really a good story. So let me give the synopsis here. In a future so real and near, it might be now. Something happens when women go to sleep. They become shrouded in a cocoon-like gauze. If they are awakened, the gauze wrapping their bodies is disturbed or violated. The women become feral and spectacularly violent, and while they sleep, they go to another place. The men of our world are abandoned, left to their increasing primal devices. One woman, however, the mysterious Evie, is immune to the blessing or curse of the sleeping disease. Is Evie a medical anomaly to be studied, or is she a demon who must be slain? Set in a small Appalachian town whose primary employer is a woman's prison, Sleeping Beauties is a wildly provocative, gloriously absorbing father-son collaboration between Stephen King and Owen King. Okay, so one thing I can tell you about this book is it does have a feminist kind of bent to it. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but especially with Stephen King, because Stephen King has a habit of writing pretty abusive guys in his books. If you read a bunch of Stephen King books, you'll notice there are a bunch of not too friendly to women books in some of his male characters, and even in this book, there are some male characters who aren't too friendly to women. So this is kind of uh, a nice feminist take on a book. I kind of enjoy that in a Stephen King book, and the characters, just like you would think in any kind of Stephen King book, the characters are well drawn. The whole town is actually drawn really well, and you see the development of these characters, how the changes they go through, the struggles they go through, and all in all, it's just a really good book. I mean, Evie is kind of creepy and um, but, just like anything in Stephen King, there are definitely creepy moments in the book. Uh, it does have that whole end of the world type of feel, like a Stand, or like maybe even the post apocalyptic thing where all these people are leaving. And it is a kind of a standoff, apocalyptic type standoff type of book, but it's still very local as opposed to some of the other Stephen King books, like The Stand, I guess, that pretty much pushes it on a global scale. It really stays local to this town, even though they talk about what's going on in the world. It's still pretty local to the town. But not much else I can say about the book. It's like I said, I really enjoyed it. I definitely give it a 4 stars. Not perfect, not a 5 star read, but otherwise it's a great book. Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and Owen King. I definitely recommend it. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you soon.